Good evening, good morning, whatever. Episode 105 of the 476ers podcast. Let's talk about it.
Yo. Yo. Justice for the blind. Just something that'll find in the rhyme that are coming from my mind.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, whenever you listen to this. This is night after the game, game 5. Game 5. A joke. I mean, a fucking joke. You gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? You gotta be kidding me with what I just witnessed. I am sick. Not really surprised, but I'm sick. You know, in the beginning of the year, we had exercised this demon where we would kind of give up leads, right? Where we would give up leads, and I gave Doc a ton of credit for that. Great coaching, get guys settled down. We would take leads in the first half, build on them in the second half. So far this series, we have not been able to accomplish that. Even the games we've won, we have taken leads and given them back. And today is no different. I mean, this is a joke. This is as disgusting as it gets, as disappointing as it gets. I don't even know who to roast here. Like, do I just roast the players? Am I going to roast the players? You know what I mean? Or should I roast Sixers Twitter and the fans who want to keep perpetuating the same lies about what I already know was happening when I watched the fucking basketball game with my own fucking eyeballs? Should I roast Doc Rivers for saying that if you bench Ben, you don't just tell me now so I know that you don't know anything about basketball, and then every game since then has benched him down the stretch of the game? Who do I roast here? I know who I don't roast. I don't roast Joe. Yeah, he missed those 2 free throws at the end. I guess if you want to bitch, if you want to nitpick the best basketball player on our team, one of the best basketball players on the planet who's playing injured. He has every injury. All of his knees are injured. Even the knees he doesn't have. The knees in the alternate realities are injured somehow. Torn meniscus, and is just literally demonstrably destroying this Hawks team. But this is what happens. This is nothing new. This is the way basketball has gone for many, many years, right? Is teams overreact to center play, kind of double team, whatever, and then as that center picks you apart, you realize, well, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's look at these other trash-ass dudes that they got on this team real quick. Do we think these guys can beat us? No. Okay, you know what? Let this man get his. Let him get his. Make him uncomfortable here and there. A couple double teams every now and then, no problem. But make these guys beat us. And guess what? Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing new here. You're going to sit here and say, Joe, let me say something. Joe played. This was one of the most dominant games Joe has played in his career. It's really not that crazy to go out on a limb and say, if you watch the game and you see both sides of the floor, he's absolutely dominant. Defensively, offensively, he's absolutely dominant. And then as the team becomes shell-shocked, he's the center. There's not really much he's going to be able to do to quell this when you don't have a playmaker. I mean, this is... and then we go Shake. Yeah, I mean, Shake had one good game one time. Relax, Doc. We know you like Shake. Why don't you give Tyrese? You might as well let Tyrese do something because everyone else is so fucking frozen up here. George Hill can't hit a fucking floater either. My man is not buoyant. I promise you, he jumps in the water, he sinks. No float. No, if we can give him flotation devices, them shits are rendered useless and null. They do nothing for him. They will not float him to the surface. He is going to drown. If you ever watch One Piece, for those of you who are anime nerds such as I, if you eat a devil fruit, you can no longer swim. It's the ironic part of being the pirate in the manga, whatever. Where I'm talking over y'all heads. Y'all not nerds like me. It's fine. I mean, this is. I mean, let's just give out the quick roses. Joe, I got nothing wrong to say. Sit down over there. You're good, bro. Go home, rest, jump in the jacuzzi, go see your child, and go see your wife. Or I don't know if that's your wife. Go see, whatever, the mother of your child. Go ahead and relax. Here's some Chick-fil-A coupons. Go chill. Seth, let's be clear about something right now. In order for us to lose this game by 3 points, Seth Curry needed to have a historic shooting night for us to lose by 3. For us to lose by 3, Seth needed to be historically good. Seth, go ahead and sit over there, bro, with Doc Rivers. I mean, that's going to be an awkward ride home. Oh, that's going to be awkward, ain't it, bro? Oh, I'm sure it is. Matisse, I mean, you're, you played okay. Our bench as a whole played terribly. Kind of hard when, we have this propensity of throwing out 5 bench guys at one time, or we put up 4 bench guys in Toby, who might as well be on a fucking bench. And we'll get to Toby in a second. I assure you. We're going to get to Toby and Ben briefly in the moment. Furkan, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Yep. Yeah. We know what it is. I mean, I've talked about this all season. If he draws a foul on the three-pointer, he's going to go 2 for 3 without a question. There's no question about it. Yeah, 3 for 5 from the free throw line. I actually do think he played okay on defense. He tried. He was getting roasted alive by Lou Will. You know what I mean? Roasted alive. Lou Will made him another wife, essentially made him one of his other wives now. Lou Will has another wife, a Turkish one. They just got married. You just didn't know. They were throwing rice. I mean, mind you, Lou will roast us in the 4th. Our defensive player of the year, yeah, whatever. Trey shot 19 free throws. I don't want to sit here and complain too much about officiating, obviously, but it's going to be a little bit difficult when Joe, how many free throws did Joe shoot? Joe shot 13 free throws, which is about right. You're telling me somehow Trey draws more contact. I mean, refs, you're going to have to explain this to us. You're telling me Trey, who doesn't really get to the rim often, does not really spending a ton of time going to the rim, you're telling me he drew 19 free throws worth of contact, and Joe, the center who is strong and dominant, somehow did not get fouled as much? That's what you're telling us? That's what we're supposed to believe? I mean, again, this goes back to what we were talking about already. If you're small in the NBA, you're going to draw the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? There was a foul early on in the game. Looked fine to me. Seth hits the ground. I mean, Trey hits the ground, foul call. Late call. I mean, what are you going to do? John Collins hits a Hail Mary 3-point shot. Banked it in. Banked it the fuck in. Lou Will bakes us. Who else? I mean, that pretty much tells the story. I mean, it's disgusting. Let's just get to it. I mean, let's get to it. Let's talk about these two guys right here. Our point guard, who don't make free throws. But you know what? He sunk 2 in a row. Let's be positive and not talk about how the 2 in a row means he was 2 for 12 outside of those 2. Let's talk about the fact that, I mean, he only shot 4 shots. And I guess you can sit there and say, well, he did get fouled a lot anytime he had the ball, or, they were doing a lot of hack-up, and that's fine. I can give you that. Your point guard, Your only playmaker, the best playmaker on your team, can't be on the court in the last 4 minutes of a game. So in those 4 minutes, as we go ahead and we're leaking blood, we are unable to get our best playmaker on the team. And also, the guy who everyone is arguing is Defensive Player of the Year cannot be on the floor because of these deficiencies. But this is your Defensive Player of the Year. You understand? I understand that offense, defense, two different things. Cool, I get it. I understand how basketball works, guys. Don't you worry. I think I can see how sometimes on this side of the court, you try to stop them from scoring, but then on that side of the court, you try to score on them. I think I understand some of the basics of this chess masterpiece that we call the game of basketball, how that somehow works. But I do want to point something out in my own limited brain, in the mongoloid brain that resides in my head when I'm looking at a basketball court and the geometry of this game that I seem to not understand, that while you're supposed to be stopping them from scoring, if you can't be on the court when it's their turn to score, doesn't seem like you're going to be able to stop them. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Can someone explain to me if I'm wrong? Did I confuse this? If you cannot be on the court during their offensive possessions, are you going to be able to stop them then from the bench? You know, there was a clip from last game of Ben playing defense on the bench. Does that count? Does that work? Does that work then? Can you do that, Ben, from the bench? I don't think you can do that, right? I don't think that's in the rules. But that's the Defensive Player of the Year. He can't be on the court in the last 4 minutes of a game because he can't make free throws. But that's the Defensive Player of the Year. That logic, while I understand a lot of you probably don't understand that. Think I'm probably, whatever the fuck you think I'm doing. This is just how it works. This is kind of the problem here. It's kind of a big fucking deal that the best defensive player on your team can't be on the court to get stops, and he also happens to be your point guard. And now we're relying on the all-star. Hey now, I'm an all-star. Let's run that back again. I wish I had that as a clip that I could just play every single time I want it to be fucking funny. Every time I want to be sarcastic, I could just play Toby screaming, I'm an all-star at us. So when on games like today, when he shows up here, it's not even that he was absent. If he was absent, he probably would have helped us more. It's that the times that he put an imprint on the game, they were bad imprints. Oh, fuck. Are you kidding? There's the layup he passes up in the fourth quarter. Well, he's already shook, so he passes that up, then gets blocked a second later. At the end of the game here, last 30 seconds, pretty much gives up an open three-pointer because John Collins is kind of around him. He should have shot it. Instead, he pump fakes it, drives left into the defender. He doesn't drive left away from the defender. He doesn't go away from the defender. He didn't pump fake John Collins to the right and go left. No, he pump faked John Collins closing on the play, who wasn't there in the first place, and then drives into him and so, whoops, gives it up to Seth. Of course, Joe missed the free throws. He was shell-shocked. He did not know what Tobias Harris was doing today on the basketball court. Tobias Harris did not know what he was doing today on the basketball court. But you're going to sit here and tell me Toby's an all-star. All right. Where? Where's that at? Where is he an all-star at? You see, we feasted a lot, and I talked about this. We feasted a lot on bad teams all season. We feasted a ton on bad teams. And then when we played any good teams, when Toby was getting defended by Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, you saw what the truth was. Yeah, he is limited. I've been saying we're the least complete team in the NBA. We are. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry that you guys are going to now start taking off the glasses and finally realizing what's been true this entire time. Pull the fucking shroud back of fandom and look at what you're watching. You're watching a team Really, if you want to make the argument for Joel as the MVP, we have the best argument if you watched every single game and you understood that Joel meant so much more. He means so much more to the court than any one of these guys means. You want to give Ben the Defensive Player of the Year? He's not our best defender. Joe means way more on defense than Ben does. It's clear. It's obvious when you watch him. It's obvious if you watch the game how much he affects around the rim, just his presence there. Just by being ambiguous in his positioning on defense, when he's around the rim, he affects so many different things. But you want to tell me Ben's Defensive Player of the Year. Okay. It was y'all who ruined the chance for Joe to win the MVP. Talking about Tobias as an all-star. No, he's not. Joe is an MVP. We are good as long as Joe is here. These guys are average. Toby is the most average. I don't know Tobias Harris personally. Seems like a really nice person. Really, a really good guy. Except he was arguing with Doc. Toby, what are you arguing with Doc about? What you arguing with the coach about? About why you're trash? You argue with him about your trash ass play? That didn't really make sense. Doc is trying to explain something to you. Here you go. You're going to get all spicy with him. Who you getting spicy with, fam? Get spicy with the mirror. Look in the rearview mirror on the way home. Get spicy with that. What are you talking about? Who are you yelling at? Who are you arguing with? Yourself? You arguing with Doc. Listen, we'll talk about Doc. The lack of ability to make adjustments when the game's happening. Hey, Doc, real quick. I'm sorry. Maybe I got something wrong. Did I mention this earlier? I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier on the podcast, but let me go ahead and bring this up now because I might be confused. I must have heard something wrong. In the first round, I believe you told the reporter, just tell me if you want me to bench Ben, with your grimy ass voice, chewing rocks. I'm sorry, that was a terrible impression. I don't give a fuck, though. It's late or it's early. Just tell me that you want me to bench Ben. That way I know you don't know anything about basketball. Right. So wait, what happened today? You know, I am guilty of these things. Oh, everyone knows me for this. Yeah. They call this, and I'm very familiar with this. I've tasted all my shoes. I've tasted them all. You know why? My foot firmly rests in my mouth constantly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just sitting here, feet in my mouth all day, whiff of foot aroma, as I eat my own words constantly, all the fucking time. But I admit it. I admit it. But you want to stand on here, you want to defend Ben, no problem. But then you can't go bench him now. No, you better ride or die with that one, motherfucker, because you just called this one an idiot. You called everyone an idiot until you did it yourself now. And now here you go. Because see, if I'm a smartass, right? And if I was that reporter, or any reporter generally, I would be like, hey, Doc, real quick, I was wondering. Seems like you benched Ben today. And I do remember you mentioning something about if you don't know anything about basketball, tell me. So what happened here, bitch? I'm sorry, you're not a bitch. I don't know you personally, Doc. You actually seem like a great guy. Great motivator of men. Except for when Ben is going for 14 from the free throw line. Not really motivating anyone there, are you? I actually don't think you should have benched Ben. Surprise. I actually think that you ruined Ben more when you did that. Just further driving him down this hole where his confidence was shot already, and you're just firmly standing over it, putting one last one in the head. And then, not only do you fuck his confidence up, but they were being inconsistent with when they were fouling him and sending him to the line. Because, as you can see, we had drawn a good amount of fouls. So that means they're running out of fouls. They're running out of people to foul. Or they're going to have to be subbing in Solomon Hill, a constant mistake, or whomever to get these fouls that we could benefit from. Maybe don't bench Ben and take the chance they're not going to foul, and then you have a guy who can actually get us into our offense because God knows Toby can't. I mean, how many times am I going to say it about Toby's playmaking? Yeah, it's okay in spots, but any moment that you think you're about to rely on Tobias Harris, You're in fucking deep shit. You're in the deepest of shit. If I'm Daryl Morey, I get on the phone. I say, Toby, don't even show up to Atlanta. Stay healthy. Make sure you're healthy. We're going to go ahead and say you're out. Your knee bothering you, right? Let me see. Hey, does your knee hurt? I think your knee hurts. Why don't you sit this one out? Game 6. Sit game 6 out. I'm on the phone already. Well, whoever will listen. I don't know who's going to listen. Not for that contract. I don't know who in the world is going to listen to this. But I'm going to see if I can finesse somebody. Maybe, is Vlade Divac still in the league? No, he don't work. How about Billy King? Is he anywhere? Can we get him a job somewhere as a mole? Can we plant him somewhere, possibly? The Mavericks seem to be in an upheaval. Can we get Tim Hardaway Jr. from them? Is it possible? I'll take anybody. I'll take anybody. Maybe we can trade you to the Rockets for, a pile of shit. Are you joking? Right. All-star. Right. Defensive Player of the Year. Right. You ruined Joe's chances to get the MVP by trying to convince everyone in the world that Ben and Toby are better than they are. Meanwhile, all y'all really were doing was capping for your fandom, right? You were capping for all these players that you're fans of, instead of actually using your eyes and watching the game and understanding what you're watching. Instead of really doing the work and wondering, hey, man, how is this going to work out when your point guard can't be on the court later? It's all well and good. So Ben has been selling the same fucking dream for years. First round of the playoffs, all well and good. As soon as the second round starts, Ben disappears. And then the third round, you could just, he put him in the coffin. I don't know where he's going to be. We saw this happen against the Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. That was round 2. I'm sorry. As Game of Thrones was getting ruined, here's Ben. What? All that defense. It's great. I do. Listen, I love defense, man. I'm a big fan of defense. I am. I promise you I am. But you're not going to fucking sit here and tell me that all that defense meant shit tonight. It didn't mean dick. We couldn't stop them from doing anything in the second half. When you're one guy who plays defense, right, who supposedly takes people off the court, and yet the guy you're defending still scores 38, so I wonder what the excuse is going to be. Are people now going to say, well, yeah, but he's getting screened out of the play, blah, 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 blah. So, are you fine? Where's the line for the bullshit? I don't get it. Where's the line for the bullshit go? And meanwhile, I was so ready to come on here and just trash Clint Capella, who was talking shit the other day, and he still deserves to get trashed. Clint, you don't deserve to even fix. You're not allowed to use the letter J in the alphabet anymore. You are suspended, expelled from using the letter J. You can't say jump, just say ump. Just say ump. If you have a friend named Jeff, he's just F now. Who the fuck do you think you are, Clint? That man done roasted you so many times, you better stop. You won the game. So I'm going to fall back a little bit. But that man destroyed you and will continue to destroy you every day of your life. He should follow. I wonder, he'll probably follow you home. I bet he will. You're going to look in the mirror and see him. Candyman. Fuck is wrong with you? Defensive Player of the Year. All-Star. Coach of the Year. Right. Right. All that defense. Right. He's an all-star. Right. I don't see how we're about to go now after being shell-shocked at home in Game 5, how we're going to limp ourselves to Atlanta to win. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joel have a big game 6. I wouldn't be surprised to see Toby have a solid game 6. We're not going to win, though. Yeah, I don't see it. Ben's confidence. Ben is such a cerebral player. It really is true. He's a genius. Really is. I won't take it away from the guy. Will not. He is a genius. And that is to his detriment. To his detriment. I can't imagine he's about to go in Game 6 and help us. There's just no balance here. All three of these guys won't play good in the same game. So if Ben does come out and play well Game 6, somebody loses. You know what I mean? Somebody loses. We're not going to get this performance from Seth again. We're not. We lost Danny, too. He's probably going to try to come back Game 6. I wouldn't be surprised. He can't. But I won't be surprised if he tries to gut it out. Probably be a mistake. It'll probably be a detriment to us. Yeah, pull out all the stops to start Matisse. You might as well just fuck the game up. I don't know what else to do. You need somebody who can play defense and make some free throws. Because God knows this fucking guy can't be on the floor. But that's the defensive player of the year right there. And this other one's an all-star. Meanwhile, the MVP is shouldering 85% of this load. And y'all just want to tell me that this guy is DPOY, this guy is an all-star, and y'all are fucking this game up. Y'all fucked his chance up to get an MVP because you want to cap for these incomplete fucking players. These dudes are so incomplete. I can't even sit here and talk about what trades are out there. I don't even know what trades are out there. Tell me if you were a fucking GM in the NBA. And if you're a fan of Ben and you can't see shit clearly, then don't even talk to me about it. But I just want to know, to anybody who really pays attention, what GM would you be? What team are you GMing right now that you're going to sit there and be like, yo, you know what? Ben's value is down. Let me see if I can get him. For what? For what? For whom? Yeah, right. You're wilding. What team has that many balanced scoring on? Oh, yeah, Minnesota probably. Yeah, maybe you could send him to Minnesota. I don't know what we can get back for him. D'Angelo might be a sixth man. That's real. Yeah, he really might be a sixth man. For real, for real. Shit. Can we trade Ben and Toby to the Wizards? Ben, Toby, and draft picks for Bradley Beal and Russ to get them off of Russ's contract? Would they give up Bradley Beal? They don't want to do that. Come on. They're not going to do that. Right. Some of y'all are probably complaining that Ben wasn't, third team All-NBA. And today is the day why you see why. Some of y'all complaining why Toby ain't an all-star. Today is the day why you see he's not. As Chris Middleton is burning, as his value is burning, he's still playing better than Toby is over the last couple games. I mean, this game was, man, I've never seen someone self-destruct this way. I mean, I have. Actually, that's not true. I have seen someone self-destruct this way. I don't remember. Usually the self-destruct is when you have expectations for someone to be better, and then they aren't better, and it's surprising. Like you see LeBron self-destruct, you're like, oh, shit, whoa. Isn't this the greatest player of all time to some people? But Toby ain't that. Toby self-destructing, to me, is actually, I'm kind of just numb about it because I'm like, yeah, well, we gave a lot of money to a guy who's like, he's pretty good. He's like average to good. We gave a lot of money to that guy. Yeah. He scored 19 points a game on a Clippers team that had no other scorers. Right. It was him and Danilo Gallinari, who is a bench player right now, mind you. Him and Danilo were scoring the same amount of points on that team, mind you. And Gallinari is a bench player right now, mind you. Give a lot of money to that guy. Yep. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, listen, the series is not over. You know what I mean? Let me say that. As much as I'm down right now, the series is not over. We're going to keep fighting. I believe in Joe. Joe's one of the best basketball players in the league. He's one of the best basketball players. He's the best basketball player in this series. However, he's being saddled with bullshit to carry. This is different than just LeBron having a bad team, because at least those bad teams were balanced in a way that kind of made sense. Joe is not saddled by a bad team. He's saddled by the most amount of incomplete guys on one team ever. He got a bunch of puzzles without the edges. You know what I mean? He had every puzzle with no edge on his fucking team. Or he got a guy with the edges and a guy with no edges. But it's two different puzzles. So you can't even put them together and make one good puzzle. It's just two fucked up puzzles. Kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. Whatever. That's it, everybody. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. So I should have had a drink before I got on this. Why not? Toast to the end of the world. I mean, dare I brush off chalk it? Should we chalk it right now? I don't know. It felt so good coming into this. Can I just pull out the chalk it at this point? Yeah, you could chalk it. Yeah, you could chalk it. You could chalk this shit. Doc, you could chalk all that defending bullshit you do with Ben. Chalk it. I don't want to hear it. Not tonight. I don't even want to watch whatever bullshit press conference to see your fucking condescending ass fucking answers about whatever bullshit you want to condescend about. I know what I watched with my eyeballs. These two round pieces of shit that I wish I could fucking rip out of my own head because I just watched the worst thing ever. God, please do not take that seriously because I do not want to wake up blind. You could chalk it. Ben shooting free throws. How do you practice free throws and you don't bend your knees at the free throw line? I mused that question today with the homie Vic because Vic said, yo, he don't bend his knees. And I immediately snapped because I've been wondering about that for months now. How can you be practicing your free throws if you don't bend your knees at the free throw line? That to me tells me that you just picked up a basketball for the first time and tried to shoot a free throw. Toby, don't you ever. Toby, you're suffering from the same disease Al Horford. Look where Al Horford is. Al Horford was sent home. He was expelled from the association earlier this season for shushing us. Not technically, but in my mind, and you're going to scream I'm an all-star to everyone who'll listen as you're baking the New York Knicks on the second night of a back-to-back. And then you fucking come here Game 5 and embarrass us. Yeah, right. Embarrass yourself. You embarrassed us. You were the best player on the Hawks tonight. Yeah, you're right. You an all-star for the Atlanta Hawks. Vote him in. Starter. Right next to Trey. Kidding me. Trey and Toby. Put them together. 2 all-stars. No question. For the Atlanta fucking Hawks. That's it. Chalk it. Everyone, have a good night. Good day. Whatever. Watch this when you watch it. God bless us all. I'll talk to you on the other side. Black Lives Matter. Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Stop Asian hate.
Yo. Yo. Justice for the blind. Just something that'll find in the rhymes that are coming from my mind. Used to come